Welcome to Food Talk, where we talk about food, fishing, farming, and all things East End. Today, my guests are two of the most amazing people that both you guys know, you viewers know. Eric Lemonides, the co-owner and front man of Almond, and Kirsten Benfield, the dining room manager, but also one of the faces of Nick&Toni's. Welcome to Food Talk.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So glad you're both here. You and I go way, way back. I mean, Pacific East.
You and I met 1993.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. You had hair.
Yeah, and where were you working at the time?
I was at Della Femina back then.
Right.
I had just moved back from San Francisco and was the maitre d' and dining room manager at Della Femina, kind of in its first couple of years, actually.
So you were at Della Femina, and then you were briefly at Pacific East?
Geez, it was a long time ago. I was at Della Femina, and then I moved into the city for a while.
At Fili Ponte?
At Fili Ponte,
yeah, we
exactly.
worked together there.
And then I opened my own place down on Hudson Street.
Right.
Called Lunch. And then I jumped back out to Pacific East.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Almond now, it's how many years old?
Almond just turned 16 last month.
Yeah, a great restaurant.
It's been a little while.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We've had Jason on the show, and it's just a great run. And you got two operations in New York, L&W Oyster, which is a Lemonides and Wiener, and then and then Almond on 22nd Street.
Yeah, I've been there since 2008. Yeah, we've been rolling out for a little while too, having a good time.
And we were just talking before the show that you've got scaffolding, the alleged kiss of death. But what you in front of L&W? But what you guys do with it?
I'm a firm believer in turning lemons into lemonade.
Because you're Lemonides.
We've had scaffolding over our restaurant for a year and a half. They're building an 80-story high-rise in the building next to us. Now it's one of those things. It's like, in 3 years from now, we're going to be next to an 80-story hotel. Kind of doesn't get better than that. I learned a long time ago, change is good if the transition doesn't kill you.
Right.
The transition, having scaffolding over our restaurant for 3 years, has been tough. It's been a year and a half so far, but we turned it into a little bit of a bonus. We've put trees around the entire thing, covered the roof in lights and kind of a gauzy thing, and really kind of made it a cute little spot. So when you're driving down Fifth Avenue, all of a sudden you look to the right, you're like, oh, cool. So it's not bad.
That's good. That's good. All right.
Great idea.
Now, you young lady, I've known you for a very long time, as long as I've known this guy. So you landed at Nick&Toni's.
You were there.
Yep, about 17 years ago?
20. This is my 21st summer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies. Yep. So this is my 21st summer. There were many people back then that were working there. That we still have a few that are still working there.
Right.
Right. They're part of the thread. They're part of the family. You know, it's been a long time and a lot of fun.
Well, you do a great job there. And one of the things that we want to talk to you guys about and let our viewers and listeners know is that, believe it or not, Kirsten, Eric, who they consistently show up at the respective restaurants, you guys have other lives. And in particular,
I don't have
you do.
Steve, I've spent my entire life playing the game that all I do is work. Don't ruin this year.
But there is there is this little thing about an airplane. So what a lot of people don't know is that you are a licensed pilot. So just talk about. I mean,
So back in 2001, when we had just opened our first Almond in Bridgehampton, I was kind of out here, doing what we do for a living. We all day long we are with people.
Yep.
We're in the public. It's constant conversation. It's kind of there's always volume. And I went up flying with a friend of mine back in 2001, and found out that the most amazing thing is you get into a plane and it's just you.
Yeah.
And it's nothing else. And if you focus on that other stuff, you're gonna crash, right? So when you're in the plane, it is literally just you, this thing, and the sky. And it's kind of, I have friends who do yoga, I have friends who meditate. Mm-hmm. It's my meditation.
Sure it is.
It's pretty great.
What's your favorite, like, little, do you have like a favorite run that you make?
East Hampton to Provincetown, 1 hour.
Yeah, oh yeah. Lunch?
Yeah. Dinner, home the next day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Kirsten, what a lot of people don't know about you, and I think people are beginning to know this, is that you're an artist. So tell us about your discovery that you were an artist and your transition, your growth, because now you're about to teach a class. So
Now I'm about to start teaching. So living out here during the day, again, I would escape to the beaches or the woods. And it would be on a bike, it would be with the dogs. It's just, we are so lucky to have so many great places to go and hide away or be on. And in the wintertime, I get the most inspiration because it feels like it's, you're alone and it's a desert and the beach and it's just so
I love the desolation.
Dramatic.
I love the
That's the
desolation.
thing about where we live, right? I mean, we go from today, by the way, first day of summer.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We go from this place of constant noise and constant stuff and things to do and people around
Right.
and traffic and all this stuff. And then September comes and it's 9 months of like living in this amazing place.
Yeah.
This amazing place.
Yep.
That it's a natural wonder.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
So this is your
very
artwork.
fortunate. This is actually plein air down at Cedar Point Park.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really nice waterway down there.
Sure.
And
Yeah, that's it.
I find the North Shore really inspiring. I get a lot to the South Shore, but there's a lot going on in the woods and the waterways in the north. And that I really enjoy.
So how did you? And so in the winter. So how did you discover that you were an artist, and how did you discover creating?
Well, the thing is about painting is you can take it with you. So you can travel, take out a pen and paper or watercolor paper, and you can just sit down and start painting. And that's what they did before we had cameras or iPhones. You would record whatever it was that was around you. But the difference is with a painting, it's coming from your experience in that environment at that moment in time. So it's a much more personal feeling than just taking a
What
photograph.
time of year is this?
January, February.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was. Anyway, so that's the thing. I mean, you can move around with it and you can paint wherever you are. And that's the blessing.
So you and I were speaking in the off season about a trip that you took to Venice, and which was working with was it a calligraphy?
Eastern Western calligraphy. Yep, it was a workshop I took with a Japanese and an Eastern Western. I took a calligraphy workshop. The most exciting was the Eastern, which is learning a different language, and the practice of that changes your brushwork. It really firms what you do as an artist, and the experience of being in Venice is not too dusty either.
I have not been to Venice yet. I've been to 40 countries. So I've not been to Venice, and it's on my list. I've got to get there. Period.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting place.
Yeah, you kind of have to get there, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
But now your work has changed a little bit because now you're doing a little bit more abstract work, which I like, and you're working more in oils than originally started out as a watercolorist.
Still predominantly watercolor.
Okay.
I do work in oils as well. I still study with a teacher and a group, and the group is now also showing. So it's now I start to teach. So I'm going to have the other side. It's of sharing with others what to do and how to do it and what to do when you pull out the paints.
Was there a minute you all of a sudden said, "Oh, I'm going to start doing this"?
I've always done it.
Okay.
Because when I traveled, I would take watercolors with me. So there was that. But then somebody bought a piece of mine, and that changed everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, wait a minute. Now I can buy more paper and
Wow.
more paints. And
Well, you can claim yourself as an artist in your tax return. I mean, sorry, never mind. All those art supplies. Like with me, I got this voice that said you should paint. I'm like, I go, wait a minute, I'm not. Me paint? Are you kidding me? And I'm not allowed to paint. And the voice said, you could paint, but not tell anybody. So I go, okay, but I wouldn't buy my art supplies around here. They'll make fun of me. They said,
Did you
well,
really? You were really a closet painter?
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
How long were you
I'd
in the closet
never.
before you decided to come out? I'm serious. I mean,
No,
like,
I painted surreptitiously and quietly in my basement for 2 years.
That's how it starts, in the basement.
I showed one piece at Ashwag Hall in Karamanick. Okay, I like that piece. Showed another piece. She goes, hey, I like that piece. And then she comes to me and says, I want to do a studio tour. I'm like, what's that? And I want, because I'm putting a gallery together. I want to take a look at. I want to include you.
Basement.
Right, I came out of the basement, and And I sold, I sold a lot that summer. And so then I was completely hooked, but it was more the process of playing with paint, that feeling, and just moving paint around that just completely hooked me. And I found that I had an artist inside of me, which I had no idea of, So it came to me very late in life, and it's a blessing, Let's talk about
It's
the fact,
soul food.
Oh, it is total soul food. But meanwhile, back at the restaurant ranch, you guys come in. One of the things that I remember as a bartender, also as a maitre d', I was a maitre d' in the city, just the hundreds of people that you come in contact with every night. And there's a rush in that.
A huge rush.
And what's the rush for you?
It's just fun. It's just fun watching people smile, watching people's kind of interactions with each other. There's a lot of times that I will kind of have a customer who I want to say hi to, and I walk past the table and they're talking. And I'll walk past the table again and they're talking. And I walk past it, and all I want to do is get in there, and you just watch them having this thing, and it's like, it's awesome. And then there's a part of it, it's like, wow, we created this space. Like, we kind of create this space where people go for fun. I mean, it doesn't get cooler
But that's
than
a
that.
key word with you, because the thing that makes you, to me, a great maitre d' is that it's almost like, well, it is. It's a show every night, but
Right.
it's almost like that you are an artist and you're painting your canvas by spreading your love and affection and your fun to each table, because you just sort of, you are effortless on the floor.
But it's not just us, right? It's not just the person
I know.
there. It's
No two nights
it's-
are the same.
and no two nights will ever
That's
be the same.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
But the biggest part is, I always joke with people. I'm like, 90% of my job is done the day I hire the people who work there.
Yeah.
It's all about the staff. It's all about kind of, right, energy is contagious. And when you have people whose energy is awesome and it's fun and it's groovy and they're professionals at what they do, like, you could just sit back and watch. At this point, we have 3 restaurants. I will dip into each one on any given night. But at this point, it's not me anymore.
Right.
It's
It's what you build.
It's what you build. It's Nick, it's Jack, it's Nadine, it's that crew.
And is
pretty
there any
awesome.
night that sticks out that was just like a really weird or fun or crazy night?
Oh God, there have been so many. I mean, there have been so many. There have been amazing, great nights. There have been amazing, horrible nights. There have been nights where you thought it was a horrible night and it turned into something amazing. I mean, the week of the hurricane. It was when did we have the hurricane hit 2 or 3 days before Labor Day?
Yeah, I thought it was after, but I might be
Whatever
wrong.
it was like the psychotic week of August, and half the Hamptons didn't have electricity.
It's Hurricane Bob?
No, it was Hurricane Sandy.
Sandy. Oh, Sandy. Oh, Jesus.
It
I
was
think that
Sandy.
was after the summer, but like the week after.
I think it was, okay. Whatever it was, no one had electricity, and for whatever reason, we did. And our restaurant turned into, it wasn't Sandy. Sandy was
There was
October.
one, yep.
It was the one before that.
There was one the year before.
Yes. And anyway, the
Eileen.
restaurant turned into, we went to Kmart and bought 15 extension cords with the 3 prongs. And all it was little kids sitting in corners on their iPads. And all they wanted to do was charge their iPad.
Right.
People were coming to dinner to buy dinner, but really they were getting electricity for their kids.
Yeah. We did a lot of takeout that night.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff you don't really expect. We had one night, maybe 3 summers ago, got a phone call, Saturday in August, last week of August, got a phone call, could we please at 8 o'clock reserve 2 tables side by side? One was for somebody and the other one was for their security detail, but wouldn't tell us who. I normally, we don't really Saturday evening have that availability, but I was mildly intrigued by what was happening, so we took the reservation. It ended up it was John Boehner. And Joy Behar was in the restaurant that same night. And Joy kind of, can't help herself but kind of stir the pot a little bit. And Joy kind of, on his way out, said hello to him. And it ended up that John Boehner put Joy in a headlock in the middle of the restaurant.
What?
Swear to God. Swear to God. And it was kind of one of those moments of like, this didn't just happen, right? Did this really just happen?
Do we have insurance?
And the best part is somebody actually took a picture of it. So we all have pictures of this, red-faced, happy John Boehner putting Joy, and it was a weird Like, you can't write that kind of stuff.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
And what about you, Kirsten? Any night come to, because you guys got a lot of bold-faced names over there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've had calamities with the weather. We have an outdoor dining space. It's not really a permanent dining space, and if the weather turns to custard, then you're in trouble. We've been really lucky that it doesn't. For some reason, it always misses us, and we get to keep the patio for the rest of the night.
Isn't that the most exciting feeling in the world when you're kind of
I have
watching the
become-
storm go across it, and you're just watching people eating and thinking, please, half an hour. I need a half an hour. I just need that one table to finish. Half an hour. And it just kind of drizzles up in Sag Harbor, and all of a sudden it's great.
I've become an amateur meteorologist.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. I mean, yeah, we kind of had a rule of the house that if that person weren't to show up, then you can't seat the group, kind of thing. You know, you have to wait and see if they're going to throw some threats out there. Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's just, you know, weather related. You know, we're pretty lucky. We don't get too much drama there.
Right, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's just shift gears a little bit. We play a little something called Food Lover Companion Roulette. We have a pretty good track record of stumping people.
Do we get lifelines? How's this work? How's this working?
Where's my cell phone?
There's
Siri.
All right. So, and Claudia Fleming won. She stumped me. First time in 17, 18 shows. But let's see what you guys are going to do. I saw you looking. Alla Zingara.
Alla Zingara.
Ooh, spice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Method of cooking?
Alla Zingara. Pronounce it again. Use it in a sentence.
Alla Zingara. I can't cheat. Alla Zingara is the phrase.
Alla Zingara is a phrase.
Okay.
Well, it's a
Style of
term.
cooking.
Alla
It's a term.
Zingara. It's got to be a style of cooking.
Or
Zingara. Now we just got to figure out what Zingara
Allah
is.
is like
right?
a la minute,
Right.
right? Zingara. Gardening?
Made in the flesh. I got no idea. I mean,
There's food in the kitchen for you to pick up. Alex, French phrase translates to gypsy style and refers to a garnish consisting of chopped ham, tongue, mushrooms, and truffles combined with tomato sauce, tarragon, and sometimes Madeira. Sounds really good.
Wow.
So it's about the gypsies,
Okay.
which
Life
both of
is
you
all about the
probably
gypsies.
have in your
life is
blood.
it always comes back to the gypsies, my man.
What's
Yeah.
the long shot question? 3 best things you've done in your life?
Oh, geez.
Almond, L&W, no?
No. Moving out to the Hamptons. Mm-hmm. It was the best thing I've ever done in my life. Hands down. Going into business with my partner, Jason Weiner.
No question.
Hands down, one of the best things.
A great guy.
And the third, geez, I don't know. Maybe getting my pilot's license. Maybe getting my pilot's license. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right, final answer. Final answer. Hamptons, Jason, plane.
Kirsten?
Nice.
Yeah,
Coming to America.
nice.
Oh, she just became a citizen.
Becoming
yes,
a citizen.
I saw your picture. Hold on.
Yeah.
We have a winner.
Yeah.
Becoming a citizen, definitely, and working at the restaurant.
Yeah. You got one more.
Oh, working with the people I work with. I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
The
You know, Bonnie,
camaraderie.
Mark, Joe.
Well, that's the other thing about restaurant work is the people that you work with, which you noted, because it's live every night, and the camaraderie is probably the thing I miss the most.
Well, the other best part about it, particularly out here, I mean, I have that experience of working out here and in New York, and out here, camaraderie. I mean, you know, Kirsten just mentioned 4 names, all of whom I would call on any given Saturday and say, help.
Yep.
And that's the thing about living out where we do.
No question.
is
Community.
That's what it's all about. I mean, there's not a restaurant out here I feel as if it's my competitor.
No.
There's not one. We're all kind of in this place together. We all kind of, you know, help each other, give each other kind of a leg up or whatever it is, and that's the thing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's really, and just to expound on that, you know, in the city, one of the beautiful things about the city is that you can have anonymity, right?
Yes.
you think nothing of going to the movies by yourself. Not that I think anything of going to the movies by myself, but it's or dinner by yourself. But if you did that out here, not so much dinner by yourself, but the movies by yourself, you'd see the people go, "What are you doing here by yourself? Come sit with us."
They let you out. You got that one? You got that one? Whenever somebody, what, you're not working tonight? They let you out?
Who's running the shop?
Who's running the shop? That's a good one. The anonymity thing is hard out here, and it's also what you love about out here.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
we live in a small town
Yeah.
in New York City.
It's real.
Yeah.
There's no hiding.
No.
Which makes it real. I mean, there's no hiding, and you can hide in New York. And did both? I know you were in New York. Were you in New York?
I worked at the cafe for a little while.
Okay.
We had the cafe there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
In the beginning.
And I miss New York. You get to go in and
It's New York is great.
yeah,
New
no,
York's
it's
great. Without that energy, I don't think I'd be a different person.
yeah. Well, you need that,
Yeah.
but we have the retreat house out here.
Yeah.
5 people that you would invite to dinner, Miss Kirsten,
Mm-hmm.
in the history of the world, dead or alive. What do you got?
Owen Stanley.
What a great! Tell everybody who Owen Stanley. Oh my Lord! What a great answer.
You know Owen, right?
Come on. Hey. That would be a genius dinner partner.
Yeah.
It fits into my whole thing.
Right. Owen Stanley worked at Nick&Toni's restaurant for a good 20 years.
Also worked at the Palm.
He also worked at the Palm.
Yeah.
He's an Englishman. He was the best, and he was the best. I mean, he was the best character. That having dinner with Owen was when we got him up here for our 20th anniversary. 20th anniversary or 25th? Gosh, I'm losing track. We got him up here for our 25th anniversary, and he came and pressed the flesh for the weekend. And it's just he's got so many stories. So Owen Stanley, Alice Waters, I would have to say would be a good person to invite. Sir Edmund Hillary, who climbed Mount Everest. He's a New Zealander and he's a beekeeper. I find him inspiring. He was, quite a New Zealand character. And that's because I'm from New Zealand. The 5th person, Howard Schultz, maybe somebody
Nice.
kind of interesting and.
That's a good mix.
That's a
Right?
good mix. The interesting thing about that is when you said Owen, one of the things that got me to love Nick&Toni's originally was Owen. And you'd go to dinner and you had dinner with the dude. And he'd come over to the table and it wasn't just, what can I get you in? It was, you had stories, you had insight, you had all this stuff. You had things about what his kid was doing. You had dinner with him. It was pretty awesome.
Barry Sonnenfeld wanted to be his busboy for a summer.
I don't think you can handle the workload.
Owen helped put Ned through college because I would slip him a drink, and he would slip me a $5. He goes, "That's for the college fund." Because waiters got a drink, and you got to always take care of your barman. So that's how Ned helped get him through college. What about you, Eric?
I'm kind of I've been thinking about this the last little while, and while Kristen was talking, it's a dinner party, right? So I'm curating what's happening at the dinner party. John Belushi.
Oh,
I want to have
That's
dinner
great.
with John Belushi. I want to kind of sit back and kind of enjoy that. If I'm going to have Belushi there, I think I want Rodney Dangerfield.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a party, right? I want to. There are people who inspire me. I would love. Frank Sinatra. Right, you need a little.
It's going to be a long night.
Well, you need a little class in the joint. You need a little class in the joint. Someone needs to cook. Julia Child.
Hey.
Ah.
I think she can handle her own with that crew as well. Right. And what am I at 4?
You got 4.
I would say Amelia Earhart, but I don't know if she could handle that crew.
Yeah, I think I'd be
I
hard
don't
on
know
her.
if she could handle that crew.
You can have an alternate if you want.
Dinner for one.
I'm going with the old standby, Barack.
Yeah.
I need Barack at the table, and he could handle that crew, and he would actually help kind of corral that crew together. That's right.
That's a good group. I like that a lot.
And Barack would also kind of keep us all a little. He'd be the chaperone as well.
Yeah, I think he would. Dangerfield. Frank would need a chaperone. Dangerfield would need a chaperone. Belushi would definitely need a chaperone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't invite a cop. Now, has there been a mistake that either of you have made that just turned out to be like the best thing ever?
Coming to America.
And was that a mistake?
No.
Accident? Temporary?
Not a lot of planning, but boy, am I happy I did it. It was pretty spectacular, I think.
I was so excited to see you became a citizen. I didn't realize you were going for it. So
yeah. Well, I could have carried on, but no, it was important. It's important.
No, that's good. Thank you. We need you. We need more.
So
of
it wasn't
you.
really a mistake.
No, that was not a mistake. That was a good one.
yeah.
So there's got to be a mistake. Maybe not. By the way, I'm looking at you. I'm going to say that it's very possible you've never made a mistake in your life.
Oh, I'm sure I have.
What's his name? No kidding.
That's kind of where I was going.
What about yourself, Squire?
Dropping out of college. I didn't mean to. I didn't know I was going to. My last year, my senior year of college, my fifth year, I took the second semester off to do some traveling, and went to San Francisco and stayed in San Francisco. And I kind of always said to myself, I'll go back.
Right.
I'll get my degree. I will go back and get my degree. And I kind of never did. I learned the restaurant world in San Francisco, and I was hooked.
What restaurant did you work in San Francisco?
I worked for a football player, Ronnie Lott.
Oh, yeah.
Owned a restaurant in Oakland called Piemonte Ovest. And that was kind of my first real kind of immersion into kind of California service and kind of what was happening out west, and kind of, and ended up kind of bringing back a lot of that mentality to the East Coast.
I had no idea he owned a restaurant.
Couple.
Because he played for the 49ers, right?
And the Jets.
And the Jets, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Jets suck.
Awesome boss.
Yeah. Oh,
he was
good.
an awesome boss.
So he was somewhat hands-on.
He wasn't so much hands-on as he was there.
Right, okay.
I mean, he would come in, he wasn't bussing tables.
Right.
But he was there, yeah, for sure.
And had a good, I guess, created a good culture there. Culture's key.
Culture's key. It's all about culture.
That's
right?
what's the key about Almond, and that's what is the key about Nick&Toni's is the culture.
Thank you.
And it's a people culture. Mm-hmm. And it's a warm culture, and it starts from the top, and it goes right down to employees and to customers.
It's again, it's contagious, right?
And it's simple.
So this is probably more of a question for Jason, but I'm sure you could answer it. Is there a menu item that it's so popular that you're sick of it, but you can't get rid of it?
Vodka martini? No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
But like at some restaurants, it might be a pasta dish, or it might be that chicken.
It's pretty cool. Our menu and your guys' does the same thing. We change so often with the seasons and kind of with what's happening that it kind of seems as soon as you start getting a little bit bored of something, it's gone.
Right.
But there are certain things that come back, hands down, every year. This Brussels sprout Caesar salad. There are days when people will come in and we just took it off the menu and people will go berserk. What do you mean it's gone?
Right.
But is it still in the one in New York? Because
Right.
I want to, and that kind of thing. That's just exciting and fun, So is there anything that's? No. It's all good.
You recently hired Jeremy Blutstein, who we've had on the show, who is just brings such great energy, and I love his Instagram posts. What has he brought to that kitchen?
Oh my God. I mean,
How long has he been there now? A couple months?
a couple months.
Yeah.
A couple months, and it feels as though he's been there since the beginning.
Right.
I mean, he's just that guy.
And just to fill people in, he came from E&E, East by
Yep.
Northeast, had some time in the city, actually well-regarded chef in the city.
It's one of the things he and I kind of vibe on because we have a very similar kind of pedigree, kind of New York City and Hampton since
Yep.
we were kids,
Yep.
since we were young.
Right.
So it's fun because he kind of remembers the Pacific Easts and he remembers kind of, early days at Cyril's and he remembers all that stuff and we kind of get to talk about that stuff. But the thing that he brings the most, I mean, he brings his culinary skills and his kind of in that philosophy, but he just brings Jeremy.
Yeah. Food is bond.
Which is food is bond, man.
Yeah. No, he loves his food.
Yeah.
What nights are you at Nick&Toni's?
Thursday through Monday.
And when can we find you at Almond?
I don't know.
Come on. This is for the viewers.
find it-
This is for me. This is for me.
I'm always there Friday and Saturday nights.
All right.
The rest of the week, I might dip into New York. I might dip over. I don't
All
know.
right.
But Fridays and
I
Saturdays
came to
for
see you
sure.
on a Friday and I couldn't get in anyway.
I don't buy it.
Thank you for, after my Pekka Kucher. Thank you both for coming. We have to wrap it up. You guys are awesome. Awesome. If you haven't been there of late, get to Almond, get to Nick&Toni's. Ton of fun, especially if you see these two guys. Thanks for having me. And cógelo suave, pero cógelo. Take it easy, but take it.
That was easy.
Bye-bye.
That was easy.
That was easy. It was fun.